Do you ever feel like you're always agreeing with what your partner wants and keep saying yes to keep the peace, but the relationship is still headed in the wrong direction? When this happens, it can feel exhausting and it can leave us wondering, what more could my partner even want? You could be falling into the trap of being a people pleaser, and it's likely pushing your partner even further and further away from you. So in this video, I'm going to talk about why always being a yes man is killing your relationship and what we can do about it. So it can come from a good place, wanting to be the reliable partner to help out, to not disagree with some things. And it can be very, very easy to fall into the habit of always agreeing with our partner, saying yes to what they ask, despite it being more than we can handle, or even just burying your own thoughts and feelings. But it can start to develop into a situation where the more that we do what our partner wants, the more that our partner still seems unsatisfied, or even worse, they start pulling away and start feeling like they don't respect us. And it can feel like we're auditioning for this role of a perfect partner, but they've given us this wrong script and that they want us to fail. Well, my members and I call this the yes man illusion. So although these well-intentioned actions are meant to keep your partner happy, they actually end up doing the opposite. So by falling for this yes man illusion, we start to build this relationship on a pseudo intimacy, a false sense of intimacy and trust. Constantly agreeing, holding back your own opinion, it actually destroys the foundation of a healthy relationship. It erodes emotional safety, it damages intellectual intimacy, and it stops you from creating goal synergy. So let's break down the damage that falling for the yes man illusion causes before we jump into what we can actually do to be authentically us, even when it means disagreeing. So first of all, there's the erosion of emotional safety. So you might think that always agreeing with your partner will make them feel secure, but actually it creates a relationship minefield. Constant agreement creates a false sense of harmony in your relationship. And this false harmony leads to pseudo intimacy. And this is a state where it's kind of a shared fantasy of agreement rather than forging an authentic connection. So it's like creating a fantasy version of the relationship where things are perfect and you're in complete alignment rather than actually cultivating that alignment. Let me paint you a picture. Let's say you are at a restaurant with your partner and they suggest a dish that you absolutely hate, but instead of expressing your preference, you kind of smile and nod and say, yeah, sure. And your partner picks up on your hesitation. They get that seed of doubt in their mind whether you're being honest. But outwardly, you're saying yes, you're agreeing. Right? And if this type of agreement regularly happens, this doubt starts to creep into all parts of your relationship. And this is where it becomes really problematic. In constantly agreeing, you actually destroy emotional safety in your relationship. So emotional safety is the ability to speak about your feelings without any sort of negative consequences. So when your partner notices that you're agreeing to things that you don't necessarily want to do deep down, your partner becomes reluctant to share their true feelings because they sense that you're not really being honest with your feelings. It's kind of like playing this game of emotional poker where everyone's bluffing and no one's showing their real hand. And this really undermines the emotional safety, the foundation for a healthy relationship. So being able to freely, openly express yourself and your feelings is the foundation of a healthy relationship. By being this yes man, by agreeing, by not pushing back in the right way, you're actually destroying this emotional safety. And you cannot create emotional safety by destroying emotional safety. But it's not only emotional safety that this constant agreement damages, it also harms what we call intellectual intimacy. So you might think that always nodding along with your partner would make them feel valued, right? Many of us, especially if you're a fellow ADHDer, we can fall into this trap of mirroring your partner's opinions, thinking that it's the path to harmony, to always agree and to match exactly what they're saying. But here's the thing, by constantly echoing your partner's thoughts, you're not actually adding value to the relationship. You're essentially becoming a human mirror, reflecting back what they already know. And this damages what we call intellectual intimacy, which is the logical foundation of the relationship. Things like respect, ability to problem solve, to overcome challenges, and to grow the relationship forward. Think about it like this. Imagine you're at a party and you meet someone who agrees with everything that you say. At first, it might feel nice, but after a while, wouldn't you start to wonder if they have any original thoughts of their own? Like, what value are they adding to the conversation? And that's exactly what happens in a relationship when one person is just always agreeing. So building intellectual intimacy and respect between you both is not about agreeing with everything or doing everything that your partner asks. In fact, it's about being able to point out potential blind spots, ways to improve the systems of the relationship, and being able to add value with your perspective when it will work to benefit the relationship. So in other words, true intellectual intimacy blossoms when we're not afraid to respectfully give an alternate perspective to each other's ideas. One of my members, Ryan, that I've worked with, had this exact issue. He always agreed with his wife to try to avoid conflict, but over time, she started to lose respect for him. She felt like she was in a relationship with a mirror, not a partner. And that pushed her further and further away. So it was only after learning the right tools and skills to be able to approach conversations in the effective way that Ryan was able to start leading those conversations and start giving his own opinion in the right way. And this both built back the respect, but also moved the relationship forward to overcoming the challenges that will always come up in any relationship. And if you want to join Ryan and work with me and learn the same tools, then grab a spot on my free relationship bootcamp, where I'll show you the tools and skills to start turning your relationship around. Click on the link in the description to grab your spot today. So in the end, respect and intellectual intimacy aren't built on a foundation of constant agreement. They're cultivated through honest exchanges, respectful disagreements, and a willingness to entertain each other's viewpoints. It's about creating a relationship where both of you can grow, challenge each other, and arrive at new understandings together. Because let's face it, a relationship where you both always agree isn't just boring, it's a missed opportunity for genuine connection and growth for you both. And the worst thing about this yes man illusion is that because the emotional safety and the intellectual intimacy are damaged, then you're unable to build what we call goal synergy. So there's this third casualty of constant agreement that often flies under people's radar, which is goal synergy. So goal synergy is the process where both partners integrate and align their individual goals towards a mutual objective. It's being able to create a win-win solution. So think of it like a dance where both partners contribute their unique moves to create a beautiful, new, unique performance. But when one partner always lets the other lead, the dance loses its magic. And as a relationship coach, I've seen this play out countless times. One partner, in an attempt to be supportive, constantly puts their goals on the back burner. They think that they're being a good partner, but in reality, they're slowly chipping away at this foundation of trust and safety in the relationship. When you only prioritize your partner's goals, then they become the relationship goal. And this trust gets eroded because your partner knows that you have your own individual goals, whether you say them or not. So in always agreeing with your partner's opinion, always saying yes to what they're wanting, the relationship just becomes your partner. So by being this yes man, it tells your partner that you're either too scared to say what your goals are, or you don't have any goals at all. And can you see how both of those are kind of scary to your partner? Because it says that you don't have enough conviction or belief in your own individual goals to ever speak them out loud, to have any ambition to grow and move forward in your individual goals. And it's important to maintain your individual goals because it's about staying connected to your authentic self. To always stay in touch with your partner, it's important to prioritize staying in touch with yourself. Your goals, your dreams, and your ambitions are part of what makes you uniquely you. When you abandon them or set them aside, you're not just letting go of your aspirations. By maintaining your individual goals while working towards shared objectives, you're not just strengthening your relationship, you're creating a partnership where both of you can grow, challenge each other, and achieve your dreams together. And isn't that what a truly fulfilling relationship is all about? So how can we actually speak up in an authentic way and stop falling into the yes man illusion? So there are 5 steps to expressing your point of view in the right way. And just before I jump on to the next point, if you do want more videos on relationships, then feel free to subscribe to the channel for new videos every single week. First of all, it's important to data collect. Data collect so that you know the full picture before expressing your view. Gather all the relevant information, all the relevant emotions and context regarding whatever issue is at hand. Discuss with your partner past instances that may relate to the current discussion to identify patterns or recurring issues. All of this is essentially considering both the emotional and the logical aspects that influence the situation. So make sure you're gathering as much data as you can before you start expressing your opinion. This involves asking questions, delving deeper into your partner's thoughts and feelings. Next, it's important to validate against any potential misinterpretations. So in order to avoid conflict, make sure that you validate any potential misinterpretations of your suggestion. So for example, this could look like saying, this may sound like I'm trying to avoid doing the work myself, but I'm not. I just feel like XYZ could be maybe the best option because, etc. This is proactively putting yourself in your partner's shoes and thinking to yourself, what may they think that I'm saying right now that is not true? So you're essentially getting ahead of any misinterpretations by validating them before you make your statement. Next, it's important to speak your opinion with what we call a synthetic mindset. So this is about being open-minded to being wrong. So because you've data collected and you've gathered as much information as you can, as you express your opinion, you can start to incorporate those views within your reasoning. So you're speaking from a place of having as much data as you can. But when you are speaking up and giving your perspective, consider that there may be something that you're missing. And this is what we call a synthetic mindset, which is trying to find the synthesis between your opinion and the other potential opinions and ideas and blind spots that you may be missing. So this is about being open-minded, not coming at it from a place of black and white and rigid thinking. This is coming at it from a place of open-mindedness and being open to be missing information and getting ready to data collect more if need be. This is about having the mindset of being willing to adjust your stance based on new information or a new understanding. And what this does is this encourages an atmosphere where both partners feel safe to express different opinions. And it's crucial to make it an ongoing conversation. So it's important to not see this as just a one conversation and done. It's important to make sure that this is an ongoing conversation with your partner. Be able to shift and pivot and adapt to new situations that may crop up along the way. And this involves regularly checking in with your partner to discuss ongoing ideas and being able to tweak the existing ones. So making sure that you avoid concluding discussions too quickly. Allow topics to evolve over time. And it's most important to get a mutual buy-in before moving forward with any potential solutions. So discussing potential solutions together, being able to express your opinion, but ensure that both people are agreeing with the approach. This is respectfully negotiating and adjusting your path forward with different proposed solutions to better meet both partners' needs. And this is why it's crucial to craft a win-win for you and your partner so that you both have the agreement to buy in. Then if the solution doesn't work or goes wrong, then you can blame the solution rather than each other. And, during these conversations, as your partner's expressing their opinions and their sort of counter arguments, it can be easy to take what they're saying as a criticism of you. So it's important that you approach these conversations with the right mindset in order to not take these things personally. And if you do want a deeper dive into that, then I will leave you with this video right here. I will see you over there.